fix things,
I should
we can
probably put.
fix things.
Yeah, should probably start putting the auto start on. I keep forgetting to do the enable auto start.
Come on, YouTube, what are you doing?
Come on, YouTube.
Oh, I see us.
Oh, you see us.
I
Are we there?
definitely see us on mine.
I did not even post stuff that we're even going live or anything.
Oh, I didn't either. I haven't been doing that like at all. I'm horrible
Yeah,
for doing
I
that, honestly.
I've been trying to keep up with it. Hey,
Okay,
wait,
so
wait. Why am I not live yet?
da 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 da.
Wait,
I don't know
oh, there we
why
go. No,
it's saying
I'm
warning.
live.
The stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended, but looking in my OBS, it is definitely not.
Oh, there we go. I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh man, this is gonna be interesting.
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay, there we go. There she blows.
Okay, so hello. My name's King K, and this is my co-host Rodriguez.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
We are doing our first episode of the HOrROrDE show, where the Horde meets horror head on. It's going to be literally everything horror, from haunted locations, horror movies, creepy pastas, what else? Urban legends, like
Urban
literally
legends.
everything.
Yeah,
Everything horror.
UFOs, whatever's paranormal,
Ooh,
weird,
that's
or
a good one
scary.
too. Like aliens and shit. I
Oh
didn't even
yeah,
think of that one.
the what was it? The FBI or whatever the hell it was supposed to release that shit like a few years back as part of one of Trump's things. So we have lots of reports that we could go through. We could literally make it like almost what an entire year's
And then
worth
we're
of
gonna have
UFO
the
content.
Men in Black knocking on our
Uh,
doors.
all right, Will
Okay,
Smith
so
come up and slap the memory out of us.
for this first location that I have found, it is called. Okay, I'll just read this. The Fairmount Banff Springs Hotel is located in the Canadian Rockies. It's perhaps one of the most scenic hotels in Canada, but is also known to be one of the most haunted. Constructed in 1888 by the Canadian Pacific Railway, this hotel is home to many chilling ghost sightings, counting a slain family in room 873, a bride who perished falling down the hotel's grand staircase, and a retired bellman named Sam McCulley, who tends to traverse the hotel in full uniform. Um, Whether you're into ghost stories or you're a little bit more skeptical, you can't deny there's something strange about the 8th floor at the Banff Springs. Every floor has a room ending in 73, with an exception to this floor. When you look at the images of the area, like on the blueprints and stuff, you see a room was built there, but it's since been like bricked up and drywalled and like blocked off.
Hmm.
Um, the story goes that a family of 3 had checked into that room, a father, mother, and their daughter. One night, the man went crazy and murdered both of them, and that's it for that like little encounter.
Hmm.
Um, since its grand debut over a century ago, guests and staff reported many unique spirits haunting the hotel. One is the ghost of Sam McCulley, who served as the hotel's lead bellhop throughout the mid 20th century. Those who come across Sam indicate that he's incredibly helpful and kind, some even stating that his spirit actually assisted them. One event involved two women who called the front desk for service, and after they called the front desk for service after their key would not work for their door. When the regular bellhop did not respond, the women walked back to their guest room. Then another hotel employee matching Sam's description approached their door and unlocked it for them. The bellhops at the front desk that night were stunned to learn that such a figure manifested to help them. Other stories involve guests seeing Sam haunt his old office on the mezzanine floor. A few have even watched his ghostly figure materialize in various spots on the 6th, 7th, and 9th floors. But perhaps the most famous of these sightings is known as the Bride,
Everybody's got a bride.
whose stories date back to the 1920s. According to legends, a young couple decided to get married at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. The bride looked beautiful as she descended down the hotel staircase. She was wearing her big, gorgeous white wedding dress, but she got startled by something and ended up falling down the staircase where she died. And people say that they see a shadow figure of a female in like the dance hall with a big billowing dress, and they can even hear like her talking and stuff and weeping. It sounds pretty crazy.
I want to know
But
what
this
she's saying.
this hotel is
Mhm.
actually still open, and you can go there and rent rooms and everything. Would you
Nice.
sleep there?
I totally would. We have a couple hotels here where I live, and they're haunted. And I've gone in there, and I haven't stayed in there, but I've like explored and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's creepy. It's pretty creepy, but they're still active. You can still go and sleep there. One of them even has like it's got the old building, and then attached to it is the new building, so you can tell where it goes. But the hallways in the hotel are like really they don't seem to go straight. It's very oddly shaped. But and we had a girl who was killed there.
Oh
She
God.
was a cleaner or something like that. So yeah, I would definitely stay at that hotel. I'm gonna have to go one of these days. I need to get a passport.
I looked up the prices
Uh-huh.
for one night. It was like $1,400 or something.
$1,400 for a paranormal experience that you might not even get.
Something like that.
Damn.
Yo, what's
Well,
going on, Pilgrim? Welcome
at
in.
least you got a friendly
Afternoon to
ghost
you.
there. It
Yeah,
seemed
the
like
Sam the
that's
Sam
cool.
guy definitely seems like he wouldn't be bad to encounter.
Well, maybe not even the bride. I mean, she's just kind of, you know,
I
distraught.
mean, I think I'd be more creeped out by the bride than the Sam dude.
Oh yeah,
Just
I mean,
saying.
you're asleep and all you hear is fucking crying and weeping. Mm.
Oh
That's
fuck.
that's enough to at least freak me out when I wake up, and then I'll be like, okay, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
Dude,
how
my
you
daughter
how you
walks
doing,
into the room.
Pilgrim?
My daughter walks into the room, wakes me up sometimes, and I'm dead asleep, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to knock you out. You scaring me. Like, no, stay over there. Eh,
Okay. My dumbass didn't even pull you up because I'm selling.
Yo,
We getting there right now. I'm sorry.
we're learning. We're learning.
Okay, we're good.
Beautiful.
Pink waving hand, pink waving hand.
I like that
If you know, you know. Folding laundry, wishing there was a bride to help me. Oh,
Oh,
I mean, do you want it to be a
Ghost
creepy one?
Bride.
Oh, just not. Okay, got you. All right, so what do you have
What do
on the
I have?
table for your first.
For my first, let me go ahead and bring this up here because this is actually we're gonna start off a little tame here.
A little
So we're gonna
tame,
do
okay?
some little like urban legend style things that have mystified people for some time now. But the first one that I have here is has everybody seen or heard of The Watcher on Netflix?
No. I don't
No,
I don't watch many shows, sir.
no. So this family, yeah, they're received letters and stuff. I've never actually seen the show, but I've seen heard about the actual case of it that had happened.
Oh wait, is
And
this where they got random letters sent to them about
yeah,
like okay, I've heard of this,
yeah,
but
yeah.
continue.
So back in 2014, a Derek and Maria Brodus, I'm gonna say that's how you say their name. They had their three young children, and they purchased a home up in Westfield, New Jersey. And the article was first published about this like in 2018. But what happened was they had bought it for about $1.3 million, and that's freaking crazy. First off, that's got to be a beautiful house. And they were going to start doing some renovation work ahead of them actually moving in to the actual place. And they ended up receiving a letter that was addressed to the new owner. And the person identified themselves only as the Watcher, and they had claimed that they had been watching the house and all that for quite some time now. I believe it was several um, decades, even leading all the way back to about the early. I think it's like the 20s is what we had there. And let me see here. Sorry, my stuff's all jacked up. And so they were getting these things, and they were getting uh weird messages in these things about like the second coming and things like that, and like what the hell. And there's like, I've been put in charge of watching the house, waiting for its second coming. His grandfather or their grandfather had watched the house in the 20s, and their father had watched it in the 60s, and it was now it's their time, because they don't know who it was, to start watching the house. And they were going to let the family know why they were there. And they started making references to the children, telling them to fill the house with young blood. And
Mm-mm.
it's like, no, no,
Hell
yeah,
no.
that's and so the brothers, they went to the police, where they actually were told not to share the letters or the contents within, or speak to anybody about it, especially to the neighbors around them, because they felt like the neighbors would probably be the most likely scenario of who had might have sent the stuff,
You
the
would think,
letters to
yeah.
them. Yeah. And they did several investigations. Both the police, FBI agents, former FBI agents were hired over the years, and until this day, like they were never able to like identify who um, the Watcher was. And there was I had read something that they actually didn't even move into the house, for fear of the children. They tried to sell the house, but it took way too long for them to try and get it sold. I think a family had moved in after several years of them trying to sell it, and there just hasn't been another letter since.
So the new
So
family that moved in didn't get anything. It was just this family for some
I
reason.
they might have gotten one letter, I think it was, but that was it. Like no letters have been sent. No one knows like if it
That's
was a
creepy as
prank.
fuck.
Yeah, like
Somebody had to have been like pranking them or
yeah,
something.
but that's the scary part is the whole young blood thing. Like you got your children there. Like what's
Yeah,
you don't want to put them.
that's a little concerning.
Yeah, so it's a good thing they didn't move in. But
I think if I was
still,
getting letters like that, I would definitely rethink moving in there.
oh
I
yeah.
don't I don't know about y'all, but I'd be gone.
Oh hell yeah. Nope. Not happening to me. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me.
I
So
don't
what
think
you
I've
got?
ever gotten a creepy letter or anything. Just
I don't
trying to
think I have
think.
either. I don't think I've gotten any creepy letters. My wife used to
Gotten
stalk me when
some
we had broke
questionable
up.
like messages from random people that I don't know, but by the way, can I add the shirt? Perfect fit for this. How to
Oh
exit your body for beginners.
yeah, I love these shirts. They're freaking awesome. I get them at Spencer's. It has the
I
little
don't think we
children.
have a Spencer's in Canada. Could be
Yeah,
wrong.
well, they're all order through the website, but they all I have a bunch of them. They're little kids going through like, hey, one meets the Grim Reaper and zombies and stuff. So I'll definitely have to use it for
You
the
say
future.
zombies? Now you speak in my language.
There you go.
All right. So this next place is different than the first one. I tried to pick like a hotel and different things. That way everything just wasn't the same. So this one is called Old Defiance Junior High School. It's located between two rivers in Ohio. Standing for over 100 years, the huge 3-story building saw thousands of students in its halls. The school was not the first building to be erected on this land, but in the mid 1800s, the town built the high school. The facility was in operation until 1891 without any incidences. This being true until a scandalous event took place in which the town was struck to its core. The janitor, named John Mall, was arrested for apparently helping a teacher bring a 12-year-old student down into the basement where the janitor held this student while the teacher whipped him to the point where the student was bleeding. The superintendent reported the two men to the police, and the janitor was so enraged by this, he made what some say was a false claim. But he was saying that he caught the superintendent and some teachers doing some questionable things in some different classrooms and stuff. I'm sure you can gather where we're going with that. Um, After all the investigations, though, all parties in the accusations were completely acquitted and cleared of everything. But the janitor was not so lucky. He was actually found beaten to death, and he was on the railroad tracks that were like 100 yards away from the school. And it appeared that the train had gone by and amputated his legs.
Oh.
But that was not the only tragedy that happened at or close to this school. In 1902, two students were playing football and they had a head on collision in the field. One of the boys ended up getting a fractured skull and died from his injuries. Right,
Jeez.
like right there. Um, what else? In 1918, the building was completely restored, but it was built on the same foundation as the old school. Um, the new building still saw misery. 1921, a student drowned in this while drowned. Holy fuck! The in 1921, my writing is so bad. I gotta try to like decipher what I'm trying to say here.
Oh.
In 1921, a student drowned swimming in Powell Lake, and then 8 years later, another one drowned right in the river, like that's surrounding them. So, like, I looked it up, and the the high school is like right dab in the middle, and there's two rivers that run either way.
That's in a.
It's
That sounds like
it's
a
a
pretty nice
very
looking.
interesting location.
Yeah, sounds like it'd be a nice location, but
Um, the school was closed in 2018, and not too many have ventured inside, but the ones that have believe that there are spirits. Uh, there's a couple areas that are most active. There's the second floor, the gymnasium, third floor, and then like the basement. So the second floor housing a bunch of different classrooms along with the library, which has shadow figures darting from room to room, and some accounts even say witnessing a 7 foot tall man, and the man will follow you. He'll like stalk you in the shadows.
holy.
The gymnasium is only accessible through the basement. Um, and when people go into the gym, they just have hair standing chills all the time, and just the feeling of someone watching you and like not wanting you in the area. The third floor is home to more classrooms and the study hall. People account hearing tapping and lockers slamming. The highest energy room is room 312. EVPs of a woman demanding you to get out have been captured. Fire and burning has been recorded as feelings, and people may experience uh like acid reflux is what people say they feel in there, along with like the inability to breathe, and they feel like extreme dizziness.
Hmm.
But the worst, I'm sure you can see, I'm slowly like each area is getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
The worst area is the basement where the janitor brought the student to be punished. People claim going into the basement is just like going into his lair. Um,
Uh,
People have said that you need to have eyes in the back of your head. The entity is extremely angry and hostile, and provocation for him seems to be anything regarding his death. So whenever anyone brings up John Mall and how he died, that's what sets him off. And this does not sound like a school I'd like to go to. How about you?
it sounds like a school I'd like to go visit at night.
Yeah, but
That'd be fun as hell.
I don't
I
know if I'd want to go there like
I
to
would be
learn
talking shit to the
getting
fucking
beat.
janitor.
Yeah.
Be
As
like, you know how
much
you
as it
died?
all intrigues
Remind
me,
you?
I couldn't move. You couldn't go around these areas, Pilgrim.
Ooh.
I think I could if I had people with me. I couldn't do it alone though. Could not do it alone.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to go with people, but either way, I could do it like without.
You
Um,
you braver than I am, sir.
yeah, I could. Well, I like spooky shit like that. That's the thing though. Is like I couldn't. My wife would never let me. She would fucking be like no, because she's scared that things will follow back home and things like that. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, but I'm scarier. I'm
I
scarier,
think
more alive.
I would be scared too of shit following me back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
But I would still go do it. I'd just kind of like, try
yeah,
to be like, anything here, just stay here. You're not welcome. Just
yeah.
have a shower bath.
There's gotta be a
Have a
way to like
shower bath.
not
Have a
have a
salt bath. Have a
have a
fucking
have a
shower bath.
shower bath. How do you have a shower
I
bath?
don't know.
You lay underneath the
I
water and
was gonna say a
it goes
fucking
out the
a
tub.
salt shower and a salt bath at the same time, and it came out shower bath.
Oh man, could be worse. Could have been a shower shat.
That's
Oh
true.
man, it's true. Then yeah, that would be a pretty cool place to visit. But I have a thing for like haunted schools and like um prisons and asylums. I would just have to do that.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
So remember that when we go on our first ghost hunt together. Alrighty, so let's see. My next one here. This is we're gonna be talking about the toxic lady. And no, I'm not talking about your ex, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
bang bang!
burn.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Have you heard of the legend, or not the legend, but the story of the toxic lady?
I don't believe so. No.
No. So, on February 19th of 1994, a lady by the name of Gloria Ramirez was rushed to the General Hospital in Riverside, and there
I may have
she would.
actually.
Yeah, so she may not. She was not only going to die that night, but she also had her body was gonna make the people around her, the nurses and everybody, very very sick. And so this became known as the toxic lady.
I
Now
didn't know
that
that's what she
night,
was called.
yeah, so she was undergoing like some she had like rapid heartbeat and blood pressure dropping, and she could barely breathe and things like that. She was kind of incoherent, but she also had late stage cervical cancer. So her medical condition was just deteriorating pretty fast. And doctors and nurses, they started to work on her to try to save her life. They did as many procedures as possible, drugs, things like that, to no avail. When the nurses had removed the shirt to start putting the defibrillator, the electrodes that go on your body, so that way you can get the pumping.
Yep.
They noticed that her skin was really oily, and they smelled like uh, it smelled like ammonia when they would like draw blood from her and things like that. And suddenly, like one of the nurses just flat out fainted. And some of the
What?
other nurses started getting like breathing problems. One actually even passed out, and when they woke up, they were unable to move their arms and legs. They were pretty much like temporarily paralyzed.
Damn.
So when they noticed that, they then nobody could really explain it. So what they had to do was, in order to handle her body properly, they sent in a team with hazmat suits, so that way they can go ahead and investigate. Because I mean, they weren't really thinking about the body, but they were trying to investigate the area, the ER, for any like poisonous gas, toxins, anything that could cause what was happening to the team. And they couldn't find anything at all. So what they did was they put the body in a sealed casket, and then they did an autopsy about a week later on her, in a room that was like specially sealed and made for her, and the team had to wear hazmat suits as a precaution. um and so like nobody, the word started getting out about this, and of course the press is what ended up dubbing her as the toxic lady, because nobody could figure out what the hell was going on. And so what ended up happening was they ended up finding large amounts of dimethyl
The hell is
sulfone
that?
in her blood and tissues. So um we'll get into like kind of what that was here in just a second.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so dimethyl sulfone, it actually does occur naturally in the body, and it breaks down like certain substances, but once it enters into the body, it kind of disappears pretty quick. But there was so much in Ramirez's system that it actually registered at about 3 times the normal amount, even 6 weeks after her death.
What?
That's a lot.
Holy
So what ended up
shit.
happening was she covered her skin from head to toe in the DMSO, or dimethyl sulfone, as a possible way to try to cure her cervical cancer. And she was just putting that all over her. Now,
Oh.
um, in 65, they had labeled that as a toxic substance. But when she had started doing all that stuff, it was like a really big thing at that time. A lot of people considered it to be a cure all. A lot of
Like a
athletes were
home
putting it
remedy
on
type
their,
deal.
yeah, a lot of athletes are putting that on their feet and their sore muscles, things like that. Um, but what ended up happening is when it's exposed to oxygen, the substance it turns into dimethyl sulfate, not sulfone, because it's
Mm,
adding oxygen to its chemical structure.
yeah,
So
had a reaction.
yeah, so it turns into a gas, and as a gas, dimethyl sulfate vapors, they destroy things in your body, and they can kind of affect like your lungs, your eyes, your mouth, things like that. It can also cause like convulsions when it gets into your body, delirium, paralysis, things like that. And so that's what explains what all the nurses were feeling that day, and they ended up having dimethyl sulfate poisoning. And so
Damn.
so 6 weeks even after her death, her body was still freaking toxic and just couldn't be around it. And that's insane. I think they did like a small episode of this on Grey's Anatomy, and
I don't
it,
remember where I heard this story from, but I do remember hearing it. It was probably TikTok or something like that.
probably, yeah, these things break out. But can you imagine like just being there and then just like realizing you're just at work trying to save this lady's life, and then all of a sudden you're fucking paralyzed
Ah,
for a moment?
I
Like,
I don't want to imagine that. No.
that's insane.
I don't I don't think I
uh,
would even like go near the person.
yeah,
But
would
I
you have to wear
mean,
like freaking,
being in that field, that's kind of like why you're in that field, because you want to help the people. So I wouldn't be there in the first place. But
yeah,
hey, what's up, Crystal? How you
that's
doing?
crazy. And
Welcome
then just
in.
imagine
Welcome
like
in.
you're working on somebody, and all of a sudden you start smelling ammonia and shit like that. It's just insane.
As soon as I'd start smelling ammonia, I think I would back up and be like, "Hey,
Something's going on
think
here.
there's something up." It's like,
Mhm.
what else do people smell ammonia with? Like, it's not
Like
not gas
bleach.
leak, is it?
I guess like it's bleach and stuff like that.
Because that would be my first like thought, is something in the room is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, so I would try to remove myself from the situation.
Yeah. Like anything weird smelling in general is just nope. Like you'll pick that up right away. Like, and then especially like seeing her body, like it was oily
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, like shiny. It's like why what the body doesn't do that. But I don't know.
Another rough day. Oh no, Crystal. Hope it gets better for you. If you want to talk, my DMs are open, or we have a mental health tab in the Discord. If you want to talk to people, we have a lot of people in there that do struggle with it as well.
Definitely reach out. Reach out. We're all here.
Sometimes all you got to do is talk about it, and it makes things better.
That's the horde for you. We're all here.
All right. So, I saved the best for last, as I'm sure you did too.
Oh yeah.
Um this one is actually a hospital.
Ugh, I love
It
it.
is, you might have heard of it. It's called the Norwich State Hospital.
I'd have to hear the story. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. Norwich State Hospital is a decaying compound in southeast Connecticut along Route 12. The decrepit remains are the most notorious mental hospital in the United States. Most of the staff tried their best to treat each patient they were in charge of, but alleged mistreatment, horrible deaths, and insane procedures spanning over 100 years have stapled the hospital's notoriety. This place is fucking nuts.
I don't think I've
Throughout
ever heard of it. That's insane.
throughout its 90 years while operational, the compound grew to roughly 900 acres and 75 plus buildings. The vast space may have allowed taking on more patients, but it also caused the staff to patient ratio to be like there was way more patients than there was staff, which produced a bigger issue of neglect and abuse. This is going to be where it starts getting a little crazy.
Yeah, it's never good with abuse and neglect.
The place was so bad, in 1939, the state senator went there to visit the location, and upon inspection, he noted that the hospital was mistreating their patients. The food and clothing were deplorably insufficient. The doctors were not competent enough to do their jobs, and the facility smelled so unbearable that they had to get out of there.
Yeah, damn.
The treatments performed were extremely experimental at best, to where most of them were first tested on a massive scale at a building called the Lippitt Building. Examples of the procedures performed were lobotomies, hydrotherapy, and electroshock therapy.
Jeez. Electroshock. Oh.
These kids are playing with ice cubes. Of all things, ice cubes. Where was I? Hey, what up, studio? What's going on, sir?
Studios. House, what's up?
Oh, the electroshock therapy was so bad that it allegedly caused patients to have severe violent reactions that would injure their shoulders and dislocate their spines. It just so you know, it gets worse from here. So trigger warning to anybody that does not want to listen to this, but it does get worse. This right here is probably the worst thing for me. The most barbaric treatment at the facility was known as eugenics, meaning they forced sterilizations on the patients, meaning like they chemically castrated them type deal, so they could not reproduce, and it was all forced. It like they had no say whether they wanted it or not. This place was so bad that one of the superintendents thought if patients did not have successful treatment after 15 years that they should just be euthanized.
Wow.
Between 1909 and 1963, the hospital sterilized 559 people. And it's rumored that there was over 1,000 deaths, and majority of the bodies were buried on the property because their families didn't want to claim them. So we have a few areas that are like main active areas, one of which being the nurses' ward. Reports of being followed and watched, talking and whispering and loud noises and physical touches. This area, they don't like men in this area.
Ugh.
like men are the ones that are like
They're the
mainly
devil.
targeted here.
Yeah.
The Bryant building was a former tuberculosis ward. It served as a geriatrics wing and an orphanage while it was operational. And the basement houses the darkest of the energies, and feelings of vertigo and urgent need to escape are quite often. Like those are the main feelings you get down there. But the Lippet building is definitely the worst one. You hear raspy voices, children laughing and giggling, and then violent screaming are some of the reports. But the most odd report that I was able to find is some people say, like, if you can hear, like, you'll be able to hear sounds in the hallways, but as soon as you walk into another room, it'll be completely like soundless, like almost like there's set, like the room has turned soundproof, and then when you walk back out into the hallway you can hear like little sounds, and then when you walk back in can't hear anything.
I would hate that. That would
Would you
not
stay
that
the
it would be
night?
not that it would be scary. It would just be like I like not being able to hear. I'd be trying to like pop my ears and shit. No.
Yeah, that's
That,
that's actually what one person said that it kind of felt like when they walked in, is their ears like got that popping, like, you know what I mean, how it
yeah.
feels like your ears need to pop but it wouldn't go away. And even
That
like
would
them
irritate the hell
swallowing,
out.
they couldn't hear anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would
this is so far the
irritate get an
worst
ear.
place I've found.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, because that's weird. I've never heard of the place. That's interesting. I have to look more into it because all the people dying and things like that. It kind of reminds me of the Waverly Hills. That one um is it's not there anymore. Like it's there, but it's just not active. It's actually the I think the owners that have it now. Last I checked, you could go and stay the night and do like a little ghost hunt. So, but there's some really fucked up things that happen at these places, asylums and state hospitals, things like that. Like it's
Yep.
just crazy. It would be
Well,
interesting though to go like stay at
back
some
in the
place.
day they didn't really have like inspections like they do now. They like, it was all done in secrecy. Like
Yeah,
nowadays you couldn't get away with that because there's so many inspections that they have to keep up with, and just, I'm sure in certain spots there is like a little bit of neglect and maybe abuse, but
yeah.
it's not nearly as rampant as it was back in the day. And
Yeah, I'm
people with
sure.
like disabilities and stuff are treated far better nowadays than they were back then, which is a
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah, definitely because that's no bueno. Tests done on mice to predict human urban or cities behaviors. Does that work? Studio?
Mhm.
I wonder if that works. So that would be interesting. Like, see how. Because like, would we behave? Yeah. I mean, we do have different behaviors in terms of like where we live. I would assume
I
that
say
would be.
sorry a lot.
So when you live in Canada, you say sorry a
Say
lot.
sorry, eh? Sorry,
When
bruv.
you live in the U.S., you say watch yourself, motherfucker.
Pew pew.
Yeah, bang bang, bitch.
especially especially in Texas, right, sir? You got them big old
Hmm.
guns.
Yep. We carry our guns on our hips and show it off.
Mm, it's like a
Oh, behavior towards others. So it's behaviors, not like community behaviors, not living. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So I wonder how that would be if if we can get the mice to say sorry.
just have like a little button. One saying sorry, the other saying not sorry, and whenever it tries to go to the not sorry, you got to try to figure a way for it to only go to the sorry. Like maybe dangle a little bit of cheese above it.
The cheese get there. That's funny.
And it has to be on the left so it burns into the mouse's brain that it always has to go left, like Studio says.
That's true. Always to the
Always to
left.
the left.
To the left. Always to the left. You could probably train a mice to do that. Just go left all the time.
It
That
would
would be
just
interesting.
it would just go in a circle, giant circle.
Yeah,
All right,
send me links offline. That'd be awesome.
what's this last place? You said this one or your last urban legend. You said
Yeah,
this is
so
your worst
this
one,
one,
right?
this one's pretty disturbing. Not like unkempt places and abuse and stuff, but this one it does involve dead bodies.
Okay.
It actually is about Halloween props, dead bodies, actual dead bodies being Halloween props. You know, you're walking by a house. Some of these props can get pretty outlandish, and they look so real, and you just never know is it real or is it just a prop? Some of these examples that I'm going to show here are pretty crazy. So the first one that we have is the hanging boy, and so
We just getting
for
right the fuck into it, aren't we?
just gonna dive right
Gee,
into it.
okay.
Yeah. So this is the hanging boy. Now this was a young 14-year-old boy, and he was super obsessed with horror. Kind of sounds like a young me. I'm super obsessed with horror, you
Okay.
know it.
Okay.
And so around Halloween time, he insisted on getting a job at the local farmhouse's haunted hayride. There's a hayride, you know, every town has one. Um, and so all the vacancies were kind of full. Like all the everything that was there was all full. I mean, the boy just couldn't get in, and he got to the point where he begged them to let him be in the hayride without getting paid. Um, and so what ended up happening was he ended up getting he was going to be put into a locked coffin that would scare people, and he would just bounce out, scare people and all that. But he didn't really feel it was too good enough for him. Like, he wanted more. So he ended up switching it with another worker that worked at the noose show, and it just basically was a plastic skeleton that was going to be hung from a noose. And he felt that the display just wasn't scary enough. So what he ended up doing was he removed the skeleton, and he put the noose around his own neck. And what ended up happening was the noose actually just started to tighten and grip him in the moment, and he actually strangled himself there. And he was actually flailing around and trying to break free from the noose itself while people were passing by and saw him,
Oh my
and
god, they just thought it was.
they thought it was just a part of the show, and they didn't think anything of it until finally they realized, holy crap, that kid actually died from hanging
Oh
during
my
that
fucking
process.
god, no way.
Yeah, that's
He
pretty fucked
Robin.
up.
Whoa, toast. Toast.
Toast,
Toast.
toast, toast,
Sir. What the
toast.
fuck?
Oh no.
You did not just say that.
Oh man.
That's
R.I.P. man.
fucked up, bro.
R.I.P.
How you been? Man, Robin Williams was a fucking legend. I love that
So
guy.
this next one was a little Halloween stunt. So what ended up happening in 2005? There was an attempt of a suicide of a 42-year-old woman. She hung herself from a tall tree and did it in the early morning hours. And so, it being so close to Halloween, passerbys assumed that it was just a beginning of, setting up stages for Halloween props and things like that. It wasn't until later on uh, that day that they realized that the body was actually a human and was not, um, uh, a prop that was there. So this lady actually hung herself on the tree, and for a good portion of the day, people thought it was that Halloween prop. Turned out not to be.
Dude,
It's
why
just
why do people
crazy,
got to do this kind of stuff around Halloween?
right? Like it's crazy how like you never know like the shit that can cause someone who's just like walking by or driving by, and you don't realize it, and then you're like, holy crap, I saw that shit yesterday. I thought it was a Halloween thing.
Especially
No.
with that last one, the flailing, like all those people that seen him probably
Yeah.
felt so guilty afterwards because if they would have went up to it, they would have realized, hey, yo, this is a real person, and they could have
Yeah.
saved him.
And then, what that does to you mentally, like after like shit, I just saw someone actually, I saw a little kid actually die in front of me. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
insane. It's crazy. This last example I have here, it's called the dead porch dummy. So in 2009, uh, I'm gonna try and pronounce the name, Mustafa Mohammed Zayed. On his porch, there was a corpse in there on a little couch thing there, and it was Halloween time. Now the neighbors thought, this is a great idea for Halloween because it looked so real, it looked so good, like this is crazy. Um, and everybody was so enticed by it and everything like that. They never really thought anything of it, and they let it go on. 4 days later, uh, there was an elderly person who was passing by, and they didn't really buy the prop story. They're like, something seems very weird about this corpse that's on
normally
this
if something
porch.
looks like extremely realistic, it's probably too good to be
Probably
true.
is, yeah, exactly. Um, and no one had ever like bothered to go up to the door, or to the house to try to check on Mustafa. And so what ended up happening, when it got reported to the police, it was discovered that he was actually the one there on the porch, dead, rotting, with a gunshot wound to the head that was lodged in his eye socket.
What? So wait, how did no one hear the gunshot?
I don't know. That's the
And
thing. And like, considering like, if you had like a muffler, or like some people will even use like a pillow.
yeah,
Even I didn't really look like too deep into where the um like if there was a report on it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you could use a pillow to kind of muffle the things and all that stuff, and
yeah,
a potato, yeah, and just, yeah, that's it. Like it's crazy. That was in 2009 studio. I didn't get a
mm,
location, but the person's name was Mustafa Mohammed Zayed. Just look up the dead porch dummy. I'm pretty sure you'll probably
that's
find
insane.
an article on it. Um,
Well, now whenever it's fucking Halloween, thank you. I'm gonna go up to things a little,
little more cautious like
yeah.
now, right?
And if I
Yeah,
see
and
some
see that's the
flailing
thing.
shit, I'm gonna make sure that it's not a real person.
Can't look that up at work. Well, use your personal phone. Yeah, like
Bookmark it.
Toast and I, we get pretty creative on our stuff. We get pretty hardcore with it. So like, definitely want to do something for Halloween for streaming all that. But jeez,
I'm not.
just go
I'm not
incognito,
very
studio.
creative
Well, I've
when it comes to
surely
like that stuff.
you've seen the pictures, right? Like we posted on, I think we posted them on Discord before, where um we post our makeup and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's great
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm not creative when it comes to like that type of shit, like makeup effects. I can't do that. Oh, you're
Yeah,
good,
like
Crystal.
what
I
was
was
it?
just saying if you ever want to talk, you can message me or you can message in the mental health tab in the Discord cuz we have quite a few people in the community that have mental health issues, and sometimes it's just better to talk about the issues with someone even if it's privately than it
Mhm.
is to like keep it bottled up.
For sure. Definitely reach out. But add that to the search history pass. Yeah, Toast and I get pretty good with the makeup. I think was it
Toast
last
is a
year I had a
professional special
professional
effects makeup artist.
professional.
Hey, let's go.
No, yeah, last year I had
Is he actually a professional or is he an amateur professional?
he's a
Self
self
diagnosed professional.
self-diagnosed professional. Was it last
I
year
like
we
it.
my mask, I had the mask, it was like a skull, like rat or cat shit, I don't remember what it was, and the mouth moved. That's what my mommy says. The mouth moves, and had like a body piece here of the like exposed rib cage and things like that. And then I had a it was a wooden hand that could actually like flex. It had the joints and all that stuff, so you can bend it.
hmm
And so I put it to where the it looks like skin was being torn off of it, off the hand, and I was walking around like chewing on it with the mouth mask and all that. That was a lot of fun.
Look at you,
I like that.
Mr. Creative.
Yeah, I'll
I
post it
can
up
come
on
up with like ideas and stories and like shit like that, but I'm not like hands on creative. Like
poke my
I can't
nose.
draw. I'm not artistic whatsoever.
I'm a monster. I would take the I
Did
took
I
the
poke
hand
my
and
nose?
I
I
would
don't
go to
know.
my grandma.
No, I
My grandma
itched
would
my
be
nose.
passing out
Uh
candy, and
oh.
I'd be like, "Grandma, touchy." It's good stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love Halloween. Halloween's always the best time to get some good scares and get creative. It's in a sense, you could go over the top. Of course, just be careful what you're putting out there. But like, don't use real dead bodies, please.
No, definitely not.
Don't do that. But some people are fucking sick like that too. Like the this last one, fucking murder someone and then leave them on display. It's crazy.
Yeah, that
Monsters. That's the real monster right there.
I don't know. Some people are just different. Not fully there.
Yeah, that's true too. Like some of these things, like did they not smell? Like I'm sure that that last one being in the sun the whole time. Well, I guess it would depend too on where it's at. It might not have been as hot, but still, like it's got to start to smell at some point.
If it's I feel like if the body didn't like break open, I don't think it would smell as bad. You know what I mean? Like
Possibly, yeah,
if all the gases and stuff built up, I don't
yeah,
think it would smell nearly as bad as if it was like punctured. But you would think because he had a freaking gunshot in his head, that's an
yeah,
open wound. So I
yeah.
don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know. I don't know how dead bodies work in that terms, but I mean, yeah, exactly. Like the gases and stuff, they got to come out at some point. Then
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. That's that's creepy. So that'll definitely put some awareness on your Halloween
Yep, for sure.
adventures this coming
100
year.
freaking percent.
You also got to think if they showered that day. I don't I don't think a shower would matter, to be honest. I don't think it would change much of anything on that. I
Oh
mean,
my god. Oh.
but yeah,
So
that's that.
I think we did pretty good for our first little episode of this.
Yeah, definitely get some more stuff to talk about. 'Cause like we said, it's gonna be all kinds of different paranormal stuff, not
Yeah,
just
so what I might do next time, I might look up some creepy pastas or something if you want to look up some like new old movies, whatever, like some good horror movies or even TV shows, like anything horror. Nothing is off the table when it comes to
yeah. I
this.
actually got a couple ideas for some fun facts about uh some horror stuff that happened. So yeah, that would be pretty cool to do.
All right.
The
So,
Kink and Bruh show with Kink and Bruh.
yeah, where the horde meets horror head on.
Exactly.
Literally
All right.
everything. So, since we have this one done, I'm going to make a horror tab up in the Discord now, and people, you can just talk like about what people want us to talk about, like give us ideas for things that they'd want to see. But I'm gonna limit it to like one idea per person, because I mean there there's an unlimited, endless amount of everything
Paranormal
that could
stuff.
be
Yeah. if
talked
i-
about.
if possible, like try to make it. If you guys have any ideas, see if there's something that's never been talked about before or that hasn't been widely covered. That would be pretty cool to do.
Yeah,
Because get some not as known stuff on these streams. That would be really cool to do. So now,
it would.
how
It would.
often are we going to be doing this?
I think to start we'll do it like once a month. I like the once a month thing because then it gives us time to like actually look things up and do some research. Because we both have other series going on. Like you have your Friday Night Frights, I have my Terror Tuesdays, you have your Shoot 'em Up Wednesdays, I have my trailers that come out every other Sunday. So
Yeah.
it's like if we were to add this into like a bi-weekly thing, I don't think I'd be able to keep up. That's just personally too much for me right now.
Yeah, definitely. And then I got some stuff that I'm working on that it's not going to come out anytime soon, but couple months and I'll probably be making some announcements probably by the time school starts again. We'll see what happens, but
Okay,
that's going to be a
okay.
lot of fun. So
Yeah,
definitely keep an eye out
I
for
think once a month doing this, doing like a quick like hour stream like episode, I think that's good. And then what I'm also planning on doing is taking each of these individual places that I do, or like my three stories, like whatever, my three topics that I pick. I'm gonna maybe make them into individual little short videos on each thing, just to
that.
kind
Yeah,
of,
definitely. Very pretty
I
cool.
don't know,
Yeah, definitely,
just
definitely,
more content for everyone.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I think with that being said, we we appreciate you guys that dropped in. Hope you enjoyed the
Definitely.
stories. If you missed
And
anything, both VODs are gonna be up on both channels so you can see both points of view. It's Rodriguez over on YouTube, and obviously if you're watching this here, you're already here.
yeah, definitely, definitely check it out. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord, 18 and older, definitely
That
drop
is,
in there and shoot us some ideas. Let us know what you want to hear. If you have any kinds of paranormal activity stuff that you want us to cover, we'll check it out. Kind of research it from there. So that'd be pretty cool to do.
yeah, Burrs. It was
For
fun,
sure, for
bro.
sure.
I'll catch
Definitely
you in the
lots of
next
fun.
one, y'all.
Definitely. Catch y'all later. Have a good one.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later.